Hi everyone, Tony here from the Sunny Coast's very own BNI podcast, The Referral Wave. By day, I'm a car broker and do finance with my business Drive Connect in the BNI Business Sunrise chapter. But today I'm joined by Jamie Bennett from Cartoplan, and we're going to talk all things removalists and what you need to know, the ins and outs of the whole thing. And welcome, Jamie.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for having us. It's a privilege.
Righto, let's get into it. Um, tell us a bit about your business. I know a lot about it, but let's explain it to everyone else because it's a fantastic idea.
So, Cartoplan, and the analogy that I use, I guess, is a wedding planner within the removal sector. We don't have big blokes and big trucks. We are a move management organisation. So we assist people in the process of moving here on the Sunshine Coast, or for that matter, anywhere in Australia or globally. And we act on their behalf to engage removal services, acquire quotes. We also perform pre-packs, declutters, small moves, tip runs, and probably our most popular service is the full unpack. So you've moved before, Tony. Everyone knows that moving's not fun. It's not something we do on the weekend for kicks. And we have what we call in our industry the procrastination boxes, which sit around the house for about 6 months and look at us going, are you ever going to unpack me? And we go, no, we'll do that next time. So we come in and we do a full unpack. We unpack all the boxes, put everything away. We make beds, fold linen, set up your kitchen, everything in one day. So the next day you've got no boxes sitting around the house. And that's by far our most popular service at the moment.
Yes, I've heard you. I've heard you talk about the procrastination box before, and I love it because that really hits the nail on the head. You know, you've moved, and it's 3 weeks down the track. Your missus,
Absolutely.
she's still ragging on me for not having put those last boxes away. Yeah, no, I get it 100%. Look, I've never taken advantage of the full unpack service, but I did have a mate of mine, and I was very jealous at the time. They went and checked themselves into a weekend away in a hotel, took their bags, and come home, and they'd gone from one place to another. And I thought, what a fantastic service.
And that's my quintessential client, really. I mean, I've got a client where I just went and visited on Tuesday this week, and they want the full service. You know, they want to go on a holiday, and when they come back from their cruise, they want everything moved, everything unpacked. We take multiple photos of how it's all set up, so it's set up in the new house, how they like it, and it's just a wonderful process to be able to walk away and go, I really don't want to know about any of this moving gizmo stuff. I'm going to go on a holiday, and when I come back, everything's going to be in my new place. Now, that's an extreme, but again, the perfect client, because they'll give us free rein to get the job done without them being around, stressing and anxiety building and dealing with removalists and, conveyancers and real estate agents. They can simply walk away. We'll take care of it all. They can come back and go, oh, look at our lovely new home.
Oh, that's excellent. So I could slip you a bit extra cash on the side to lose the picture of the in-laws on the mantelpiece in the process.
Well, I'd be having a deep, dark conversation with your partner about that, because I reckon that'll come back to bite me in the bum in about 5 years' time.
Yeah. Where'd that picture go? Don't know. I talked to the it wasn't me.
Blame the removalists.
Blame the removalists. Oh, excellent. Well, that's good. It's a great model. Righto, let's talk about a bit of BNI. What led you to join BNI?
I was managing another removal company early 2000s, and at the time, LinkedIn, I don't think that came into play until about 2003, Facebook about 2004. So marketing was exactly that. It was getting out in front of people and creating relationships. And I was at the time looking at ways to market the business that I was managing, and got the owner on board. And he went to one BNI chapter and I went to another to try and conquer and divide. Now, back then on the coast, I think there was probably only 4, maybe 5 BNI chapters back then. And it gave us a really good understanding of how the BNI structure works and what the positives were. So 20 years later, still in BNI, have dropped out a couple of times. But when you understand what BNI potentially gives your business as far as marketing, branding, and exposure, it really makes sense to be a part of it. I know that for every company that I managed after that point, I've insisted that they be in BNI, and I've been a member of BNI throughout those other businesses. As soon as I started this company, it was a no-brainer for me. Something that's trackable, something that's accountable, something that I can measure. It made total sense. And to have a plethora of other businesses at the end of my fingertips to be able to call on, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, you're 100% correct there. So look, you obviously, can you elaborate a little bit how you use BNI to gain the referrals for your business?
Yeah, look, when we started with BNI, as I mentioned, it was more of looking at it as a branding and marketing tool. But then through the creation of relationships, one of the pillars of BNI, relationship building, we've managed to, over the near 20 odd years that I've now been in BNI, create long lasting relationships that create trust and therefore makes it very easy to pass referrals on. Now, the BNI structure allows that perfectly because, it's, as I said, it's all accountable, it's all measurable. The people are in that room every single week. So when we're going out and we're giving referrals and referrals being passed back, there's that confidence, that peace of mind that the services that you're asking for are actually being achieved to the standard that you'd like. And that's how we get our work through BNI. It is the fact that we've got a long history of being within the industry and leaders within the industry, that when we made this transition, it made sense. So BNI, thankfully, it jumped right on board, and all the members have supported us in our endeavour to get Cartoplan to where it is currently. And without BNI, quite frankly, we would not be able to do that. Without the connections, without the relationships, without the referral system, I certainly wouldn't have the network I have, nor would I have the business that we currently have today.
Yeah, what a great story. So you come up with a new idea, you transitioned that whilst being in BNI and took that support that you previously had moving forward with Cartoplan. Yeah, it's fantastic. I don't know where other sort of networking things you would have been able to pull that off. It's
No,
fantastic.
and none of them really are all that long standing, are they? I mean, BNI has
No,
been around for a long time,
yeah.
which just creates that air of assurance that when you're joining BNI and when you're interacting with BNI, that it's going to be there. It's not going to just be there for 6 months to support you. It's going to be there, as I said, 20 years later. A lot of networking groups don't last that distance, let alone allow you to make those long-term relationships.
Yeah, no, you're 100% correct. You touched on it a bit earlier, but let's talk about some of the ways that being in BNI has helped you solve a few problems within your business.
Look, I think for me, it's the whole of BNI in itself. It's that connection to the greater community. The service industry that I'm in means that we are reliant on many other services to achieve our goals for our clients. So for me to be able to reach out to other businesses and be able to say, hey, client, use this person, great real estate. Use this person, great car broker. Use this person, great Sparky, and know that they're there for my clients and to provide a service that we expect, that goes above and beyond because of that accountability. Every Tuesday morning, they've got to look at me across the table and go, good morning, Jamie, and I have to do the same. And I think that is what drives us to be better at what we do, and allows us to enter into contracts and jobs that we possibly would not be able to reach without that support team and that network of BNI members.
Yeah, you do that, don't you? You walk in there before your BNI meeting and you see someone that you might have referred to, or wherever, oh, how'd you go with Jamie, or how'd you go with Roger? Like, the conversation starts when you're having a coffee before you even, the meeting even starts, doesn't it? Like,
Well and truly, and that's that period where those relationships are made, because during the meeting, we're all meeting based.
yeah,
But before the meeting, after the meeting, one-to-ones, outside when we're catching up for social events, that's where we build our relationships
yeah.
within the group, and that's where the trust comes from.
Yeah, no, 100%. Now, given that, have you got a standout story you can share with us as far as your referrals go?
Yeah, I was thinking about that question actually, and whether or not it's just one story or the overall concept. I think BNI, because I've been in BNI for so many years, a lot of the stories blend. So,
Yeah.
there are stories from when I first entered BNI when we were just amazed at how quickly we created traction within the community, how BNI got on board, and even with my business, how now they get on the social medias, they're plugging you, they're creating branding and marketing for you. I mean, those stories, when I entered BNI, I didn't do it for return of investment. Okay, I did it for exposure. I did it for the networking. I did it for the branding. Return on investment was simply, okay, if I make some money back out of this and I cover my overheads, fantastic. Never did I think that we would be creating a massive revenue stream and creating large profits out of just one avenue, which is BNI. So the story, I guess, if I was going to have any in particular, it's a tricky one, Tony. I'd have to say that possibly the best BNI is making the connections that I've made through the real estate. So I've landed a couple of golden eggs, as I call them, where the relationships I would not have made unless I'd been a part of BNI have been very fortuitous. And it's repeat business. I mean, that's the golden egg. It's not the one time, here we go, you're moving, thanks for coming, we'll see you in 7 years, according to the Bureau of Statistics. No, this is about having repeat partners. So the golden egg for us, and the most influential impact that BNI has had on Cartoplan's financial state is by creating those long-term relationships with real estate agents who see the value in not referring a removal company, but a management company that will supply their clients with 3 quotes, not just one. So there is no fallback. The client can't come back to the real estate agent and say, hey, you gave us a really dodgy referral. No, we gave you someone who gave you 3 referrals. Yeah. So we've empowered you to make the decision. And I think that relationship within BNI has been my most fortuitous, our best golden egg. And I continue to go and give lectures to real estate agents and sales agents all over the coast, probably due to the fact that they've heard about me and BNI. And that's wonderful.
Yeah. And look, I mean, obviously BNI's chapters are heavily subscribed with real estate agents too. But, I mean, I guess if you just use the real estate agent example, it's a fantastic service for those guys as well, isn't it? Because they're not seen to be feathering one person's nest, or, oh, why are you choosing that guy? You're getting a kickback, or, whatever the case may be. It's like, hey, talk to this guy. He gives you 3 quotes. He'll manage the whole process.
And it reduces that stress for them. It's been probably 2 decades since real estate agents have felt that they could give out referrals, because of the saturated industry. There's 75 removals on the Sunshine Coast. It doesn't take much for one to do the wrong thing, and suddenly, it's a poor reflection on your business because you've given that referral. They negate any risk in this issue because we give them 3 options, and the client makes a decision based on their finances, logistics, or services that they require. So the real estates love us because they're giving their clients an option to be able to assist with their removal without actually taking any of the burden on. So, but it's not just our group too. I work really well within Powerhouse, with our real estate agents, but I love visiting the other chapters. Like you said, there is a real estate agent in every single chapter. So it doesn't matter which group you're in, you've generally got access to a plethora of businesses that can be accommodating.
So just go back there. Did you say there's 75 removalists on the Sunshine Coast?
That's every week there's a new one, Tony. It's ridiculous.
Jeez. I might have said there could have been 15 to 20.
75, right. And that is growing every day.
So if you're listening to this podcast, I'd like to know how out of the 75 you choose the right one. So, even more reason. And you're the only one doing what you do with Cartoplan?
Absolutely. We are the only ones on the Sunshine Coast currently that are doing a move management role, where we perform all the same processes that the removal company do to generate you an inventory and quotes. The difference is that we will get you 3 quotes for you to choose from. And they're all top tier removal companies. They're all top page of Google. If people are self-managed, self-managing, I tend to say that's where you should start, because they're generally ones that have the capacity. They'll have multiple vehicles. They'll have insurances in place. They don't stay up on the top of Google for long if they don't have all those procedures in place. So even for people who are self-managing, we love to give them some information to walk away where they feel more empowered, and they can go and make selections based on information, not on hunches or even social media. Although I get a lot of plugs in Facebook, and God love them, I would prefer someone to look at a little bit more research than Facebook when they're going to get someone, because the last thing you want to be stuck with is a company that doesn't have insurance. Or more to the point, like you said earlier, Tony, you get a call 2 days before the move saying, "Oh, we've had a truck breakdown. Sorry, we won't be there."
Yes.
If you want to negate all of those issues, then we're the people to speak to.
Yes, yes, I've been the recipient of that love before.
It's not fun. It's a very stressful occurrence moving, and any way we can de-stress the move, well, that's what we're all about.
No, great. Look, for anyone listening, whether in BNI or thinking about joining BNI, what's the one bit of advice you would give them to make the most out of their networking journey?
For me, it is simply the group that you're in, that's your tribe. And by all means, visit multiple groups to find your tribe, because that is potentially where you're going to be getting a lot of your referrals. But never, ever cut yourself short with BNI. Visit all the chapters and regularly build relationships with other members in other chapters. There's a plethora on the Sunshine Coast. We've got over 180 members or something, isn't it, Tony? Was it closer to 200 now?
219 or something, I think, now.
Wow. So it just continuously grows, and you're only cutting yourself short if you're not exercising your right to visit all the chapters, meet all the people, and create more relationships. I see it too often where people will get into BNI and they'll stay in that room and they feel that that's what they're paying for. But you're not getting your money's worth unless you're getting out there and meeting all the players in all the different BNI chapters on the Sunshine Coast. And that's how you'll find your crew. And that's how you'll find your tribe, and that's how you'll get the most out of BNI.
Perfect. Well said. I had to take over the visitor role, with the visitors this morning after the meeting. And that's the first thing I said to them. Two things: come back for a second meeting. And second of all, go and visit the other chapters. Everyone runs it a little bit differently. You're right. You've got to find your tribe, because that's where you'll end up being. But once you settle down, go and visit a lot of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think that, these are minor fees that we pay to be a part of the BNI in whole. And if we aren't exercising our right to go and utilise every part of BNI, that includes the other chapters, that includes online Zooms, that includes one-to-ones and everything else, then we're really not making the most of our investment. So it just makes sense, again, to make the most of your investment. And if you don't come and get out and meet all the chapters, then you're not going to meet all the lovely people. And there's plenty of us on the Sunshine Coast who want to help your business.
Yep. No, well said. Look, what's next for Cartoplan?
Cartoplan, where are we going forward? We are in the processes of embedding ourselves further into the NDIS and Queensland Health. We really strive to achieve people who need it the most. So I started the company with the idea that I'd only be working in the age demographic. Silly me. I think one of my first clients was a 21-year-old single dad who just was time poor and didn't want to do with anything. I went, oops, we better open up who we're actually servicing. But I love that space. So we are currently in the processes of working with other providers in the NDIS space to see if we can't get ourselves in there a little bit further to be able to help on from a government level. The other thing that we are in the processes of doing is with a revolving door of staff members. So if we can get some qualifications in place and some training, we'll be able to provide higher wages for those guys while justifying the increase in prices for the industry. So that's the next on the agenda, is to try and get some regulation throughout the industry on and all.
Yeah, great.
Big task, but we'll have a go, because we'd love to see the industry continue to grow.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's someone's got to take the charge on those agenda items. So well done. Look, what's the one core value of BNI that resonates with you?
Definitely from my previous conversation with you today, I would have to say relationship building.
Yeah.
But I think for me, that goes hand in hand, and I can't separate the two with accountability.
Mm.
My whole industry is about being accountable to my clients and keeping removal companies accountable to my clients and myself. For me to do that, then I have high expectations that need to be met. So that works both ways. When people are giving me referrals, they're expecting a high quality of service. That means I'm accountable to them with, most importantly, concise and clear communication regularly. And also that we continue to work on that relationship, because if we don't build the relationship and we don't have the rapport, then we don't have the trust, and the communication breaks down, and so does the accountability. So
Yeah.
accountability and relationship building work hand in hand in my industry, and very much so for me, because I love a good chat.
No, we haven't worked that out yet. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Yeah, they're two good points you make there. Look, how can our listeners find out more about Cartoplan and all your services?
Good question. Look, Cartoplan, obviously, first and foremost, if you're in BNI, jump on BNI. You'll find us in BNI, powerhouse. But short of that, we are across all typical social media. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn. We have our website, and obviously email, Facebook. But I prefer phone, believe it or not. I'm one of the old school where I love someone giving me a call and I can have a good old chat. You don't get that same communicate through email, so I am always up for a chat and a coffee. Feel free to reach out and give me a call anytime.
Fantastic, Jamie. It's been great. I knew this would be a fantastic podcast to do. Some stats there and some things you said have absolutely amazed me. I can't believe there's that many removalists on the coast. But no, look, it's been fantastic, and well, thanks for being on the podcast. And yeah, we'll see you down at Powerhouse again soon.
Oh, thanks for having us, Tony. It's been well, eye-opening as well. I absolutely listened to all of your podcasts. I listened to two yesterday. Absolutely love it, mate. Keep up the great work.
All right, thanks very much for the vote of confidence, mate. We'll see you again soon.